So this is the little hotel room. Oh, it's got a cute little seat. Nice bed. No television. I noticed that. A little bathroom. No, I was just looking around. Hey guys. So, it's JB here, or as they call me on the trail, Mountain Man. I'm going to be talking a little quiet because it's 8:33 and I had to get a hotel room, and my wife found me the swankiest place she could in Julian, California. It's an old mining inn that was like an actual inn, and this is my room as I just glance around real quick and show you. So in there is the shower and the bathroom, little nightstand, beautiful old frame. Look at the wallpapering, just a gorgeous, gorgeous place. And then over there is the sink, the mirrors. And what's really cool about this is people were asking downstairs. This one guy's like, "Hey, where's the TVs?" And she goes, "It's in the parlor, sir." And there's a TV in there. So they left this place in essence like it was, where there was entertainment was in one room, and the entertainment is open from 4 till 8, and they will open the parlor at 4 till 8 o'clock for board games, card games, and it's amazing. It's like going back in time. All I can say, when you're on the trail, and I'm on the trail and I'm isolated, for me, it takes me and gives me post-traumatic stress. I have PTSD, and and all of you guys know I used to be a bad guy, and I did time in prison. Well, I did 4 months in the hole before, and that messes with you. And so being isolated is sometimes just, I love the woods and the mountains by myself hiking, but at night I love community. I love fellowship and hearing from one fellow to another, from one human to another, from one animal to the flowers to the hills, all speaking to us. And so I love that. And so when I get out on the hills sometimes in that isolation, it really messes with you. And then you get into a little town like this and it reminds you of what it used to be like. You know, people literally gathered to go to entertain themselves. They would play games in the yard like shuffleboard, different kinds of croquet. Croquet was a big one. Throwing the horseshoes was a big one because it was cheap and people could do it. And so I think about the trail, and as I'm going through this, I'm realizing that we can get lost in ways, and I'm realizing as I search to figure out how to pave a new road for our nonprofit and go where people have not gone before in my field, and trying to pioneer a new way of prison reform, of true correction of prison as they come into the community. Putting them in places and programs will actually make a difference and change. And when I think of that, and that's as I'm trying to plan that, I sometimes can forget. We got to get back on the path. What was the path? So getting back to nature, I want to encourage you as you go through your life and as you're looking to figure things out, go out to nature, take a walk, take a hike. If you're afraid to be alone, go to the mountains, be alone. If you're afraid of the animals by yourself, go out there and be amongst them. Overcome this fear, and even if it's just for a day of overcoming it, you might not make the whole hike up the mountain. It took me 4 tries to get up Mount Adams. 4 times I tried. Only the 4th time did I succeed. But I didn't fail on the other times. Why? Because I never set out to summit and control and master that mountain. I only set out to climb the mountain and master myself. And in doing that, in time, my body, the wind, the weather, the elements will be aligned, and eventually I'll get to that summit. And so will you. And I have a lot of my trail partners and tramley, as we call them, the trail family. A couple of them had to drop out. Some was for health reasons themselves. And I felt bad because they know that I have like some of the worst health problems, but yet I'm pushing. But I'm not far behind anyone. I'm probably going in 2 or 3 days, but I'm going one more day. I've only been on the road for 7 days, and I've had to have a few people help me survive. 3 different times people have helped save my life on this trip, and I've had the pleasure of meeting people and hearing their stories, and then helping them through my story. And so it's an inspiring back and forth, and that's why I'm saying get out to the wilderness, go camping. Look, I'm a big old fat guy. I'm not gonna hide it, okay? I'm crippled, I'm disabled, permanently disabled. I was in the wheelchair, never supposed to walk again guy, and I fought back for it. So I'm out on this trail for many reasons. But I want you to understand something. Get out there and try to push yourself to the farthest that you can. And when you can't anymore and you have to say, okay, uncle, I need to come back on the trail another time. That is nothing wrong with that. You now have your next goal. I did this and I went this far. Now I can overcome anything up to here because I've done it before. And then you just keep pressing and you keep growing and you keep hiking. And you eventually in your life, if you use the same pattern, you'll have successful relationships, successful businesses, successful every aspect. Yes, you're gonna fail. I fail. It happens, okay? I just don't make a pattern out of repeating it because I don't want to know the pattern of failure. And when I do fail, I make sure I study it very well. How did I fail? Why did I fail? Well, I realized one thing. I was practicing 16-hour walks a day before I hit the trail. But I was doing it on treadmills and on paved paths. I was not on rocks I was using the right shoes, the same shoes, but the rocks and all the different bends and twists that your feet go through on the trail, let me tell you something. It's the most excruciating thing. My feet are just throbbing nonstop. They're swollen. They've got a couple of blisters. They're not too bad, but the pain is just like, oh my God, cut them off. Every step I take, just moving them, it's like the most excruciating thing. So how do you do that? How do you push through that? Well, that's it. That's the secret. And it's called a mindset. You have to have that mindset of a victor, of a person who is, and if you're leaving the trail, and I said this to my good friend, my new tramley friend, No Keefe is her trail name, but Leaf is her name, and she's from Scotland. And Leaf, people that have left, because I've done 1,000 or so miles on the PCT. I've never done the through hike all the way. I've done almost 1,000 miles, okay? So that means I've left a lot. So did I fail? Not at all. I succeeded and did this huge portion, 60 miles, 79 miles, 200 miles, the John Muir, and they just get a little bigger and a little bigger. And maybe this time I only can go a little further, but I'll go a little further the next time. And so I'm so proud of all of us, the ones who have started, the ones who knew they've met their limit, and they now know how they need to train for the next hike. That's exciting. Once we know our limitations, we then can build to come stronger and overcome those. All right, anyways, I'm inspired today. The tramley on the trails, we call them, which is your trail family, the trail angels. There's a group of them out there that are actually watching my health. This one lady emailed my wife and said, she's like, I want you to know your husband's in our private little group and we're keeping an eye on him, and all the angels are talking to each other about him. And when he gets to this area, you talk to me because we want to help. He can stay with us. We can, put him in a hotel. We can pick him up. We can drop him back off. We can get him to the hospital, whatever he needs. We're probably, if there was an emergency, we have people that could probably get to him within an hour and a half to 2.5 hours, anywhere between here and here. And my wife is just like overwhelmed with joy. And I hear this, and then I'm on the street, and I'm being embraced with such love from people that I've never met, but they've heard of me and my life and my story. And I walked one time under this bridge, and under a bridge for a hiker, it's like paradise. So I collapsed in paradise. And they were telling the story about this guy, and damn, he was an amazing guy. I was like, dude, this guy's cool. And it took me about 2 minutes to figure out it's me. They're telling a story about me, and I shut up. I didn't say anything. And I let them talk, and I let them talk. And then finally, I was like, hey, I didn't say that. And they all were like, what? And I'm like, hi, I'm Mountain Man. And I'm thinking, how the heck does these people, but apparently in life, this is cool. Apparently when you shine a light, right, it explodes, it ignites another and another. And I don't care about changing the whole world. I just care about changing the world one person at a time. Because I was a bad person and I changed my life. And now I'm an agent of love and light and goodness. And I want people to experience that. And I want you to have the greatest life you can ever have. And hiking this trail, I am learning deeper and deeper about who I am as a person. I didn't come out here to find myself. I'm not out here because I need a journey. I'm not out here because I'm searching. I'm out here to raise $1 million to help the next Jonathan Refuge, to house the men coming out of prison. I'm here to show people that are saying they can't overcome obstacles that yes, you can. I got every disease you could imagine. I've had 2 massive strokes, 4 heart attacks. I've had 2 of them. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on some of the things. 7 heart surgeries. I've had cancers, tumors removed, gallbladders. I've had pulmonary embolism not once but twice. I mean, I was left in a wheelchair. I had to fight to get to a walker. I had to fight to get out of the walker to a crutch, and from a crutch to an old man wobble now. And so, as I think about this, I want to make sure that I'm showing people, I don't care how far I get on this trail. If I drop tomorrow, then that's it. If my feet give out, they give out. I won't even show you how the looking sores and all the heat sores, and it's horrible. But between now and the time I do leave this trail, I promise you one thing. My heart is to just make sure people know they can overcome it. If you're going through cancer, you got this. You may die from it. Someday I'm going to die, but I got it. I have this means I've got the journey. Between now and the time that my light goes out, I've got this. And I don't care how much time the doctors give me and my wife. Guess what? I got this. I got this. And so do you. All right. Have a good night.
So I have this bed with Julian at the Julian Gold Mine Hotel. This is beautiful. Just gotta think over there. That over there. They're nursing my feet. I've got these heat rashes that are going all up my legs. And if you see my feet, they're so swollen. I used to go to get my fingers right here around my ankles. They're so swollen. Some small blisters, not bad. I need to pop them. And same thing on this side. Heat rashes. Not bad for being as swollen as they are. It's throbbing. So I've got to get a little rest on the trail. And I'm going to do that here. Well, I'm going to do it tonight. And tomorrow I'm going to be staying at Trail Angel's home that she, her and her family, her mother and the kid, they all have there's one spare room they use, and this is what they love. This is like what she does for her life. She just lets people come if you want to just tend her yard, and then be able to use the washer and dryer and get a shower. She has that, and it's all by donations. And she's an amazing person that you can have your, like my wife contacted her through a special Facebook page that we're all part of, and she was like, okay, I can pick him up at this highway at this time, and then that way I can come down off the mountains and maybe only have to walk 5 extra miles to get to a trailhead, but she can take me the 10 or 20 miles to a town so that I can recuperate for a day, get things taken care of with medicines or medical issues, and then get back on trail. So it's such a blessing, and it's so fun, and so exciting, and the people I'm meeting, and I'm going to be talking about them a lot throughout the journey, but it's the key is it's the journey. that we got to embrace. It's the journey that is called life. And it is the journey that when people say my life sucks, then change it. If it sucks, get out of it. Move out and change what you and who you are and where you're going. It's like with the trail. Maybe it's too hot right now for some people. I've fought a heat stroke, had all the signs of a heat stroke. So I've been doing heat exhaustion, and my blood pressures have never been this high, and I'm sustaining it, which is even scary. I don't know how I'm not stroking out. And so the stress of that on my heart is just like boom, 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 boom. My poor wife's at home. I'm doing this to try to raise awareness, and I'm asking people to not just Facebook like this or YouTube like this, but Facebook it to your friends. Let other people around the world know there are people out there that are trying to change the world, trying to give their fortune away, trying to help change the world in an amazing way that we see that in the area that we love through hiking and climbing mountains and all kinds of outdoor activities, getting people from the streets and the gangs and the drugs and the prisons and getting them out into the environment and finding out there's other highs out there. It doesn't have to be cocaine and heroin and prostitution, that it can actually be a life that is amazing, and you have some amazing highs and lows, and you can go through days of depression of the trail and then days of just glory and celebration. And it's an amazing thing to see the combination of how it correlates life and the trail. And there's pain, suffering. So right now I'm suffering and I'm in a lot of pain. My spirit is so strong. God, I could go forever. If I had the young body like these kids out here, you could never stop me. But I'm not giving up. This old man is gonna keep on trucking until I collapse. And then I'll call him Gold. Or actually be auntie. Alright. I love you guys, man. You keep smiling and you guys know let's make this together. Let's live peacefully and harmlessly together. And let's try to inspire people around us. And not just inspire them, give them a path to follow. Don't tell them, show them, walk a path. Just like I'm doing today. I tell people to give their money away. I don't just tell them, I do it, I show them. I tell people to get out there and push their bodies. I don't tell them, I show them. You can do it too. I know you guys are like, stop pointing at the camera. I'm sorry. I'm not the greatest at all these recording things, but I can't wait to see you on the trails of life. Hey, Facebook world, the YouTube channel, Dead Man Walking, the PCT here. My name's J.B. Brown. They call me the Mountain Man on the Trail. We all get trail names. It's given to you. And some people have asked how I got my trail name, Mountain Man. Well, first off, I'm 48 years old. I was born in 1975. I was born in a town called Chester, California. If you're hiking the PCT, you know that because that town, you go right through it. It's in Northern California. So I was born in the town on the trail. My family, for a year of our life, we lived in the woods, and we actually started there in the PCT, and we went all the way around in that whole region, and we lived for a year out there. It's one of the coolest extended camping trips I've ever done in my life. So I've done a lot of walking on the trail, about 1,000 miles total. I've done the JMT section a couple times. I've done different parts of the Southern California, not so much the desert area, more like Big Bear region and stuff like that. But I've done Washington sections, and I was doing a Washington section one time when up by White Pass, and I decided to just spur of the moment go, not summit Mount Rainier, but just go climbing. And I was about 7,000 feet up, and I ended up doing some practicing and mountaineering things that I was doing, and I ended up going into cardiac arrest. They were gonna, I ran into some people, rangers and stuff, and they were gonna, of course, get a helicopter and all these things, and I'm like, no, what are you talking? Whoa, I don't need no helicopter. I've had 4 heart attacks. I can walk down this mountain. So I walked down all the way. I ended up getting in the car. I ended up having 2 hours from the mountain is where I live. So I ended up having to, and I had a house right at the base of the mountain, but I had a second home up 2 hours north where my men's homes are for Jonathan's Refuge, the people that I take care of when they come out of prison. And so I knew I was going to be in the hospital for weeks because of what was going on with my heart. So I needed to get up there and make sure all my guys were okay. So I drove before going to the hospital, 2 hours all the way up, squared everybody away, drove 2 hours back to where my wife and the house is down by Rainier, and then went into the hospital and had a surgery right there after. Literally the second I walked in, I'm being slapped on a gurney into the emergency room for medical surgery. And the doctor, who was a hiker from the PCT, he dubbed me. He goes, I dubbed the Mountain Man, because it was a nickname from the coffee baristas is where it came from, like Starbucks guys. They're like, you're Mountain Man. And so I told him about the story, and so it just kind of stuck. And then everybody on the trail just, absolutely, dude. I know what you're gonna say. That was like stupid of me not to go straight to the hospital, but no, I had things I had to take care of, and I guess they think I'm a tough SOB, but I don't feel so tough because right now I'm laid up with my feet under blankets, sitting in Julian, California, where I am healing, trying to heal. My feet are in such bad shape, and my blood pressures are sitting consistently in the 200s over 100s all day long, and I just can't get them down. 250 over 140 when I'm walking, and then when I'm resting, it's usually like 210, 200, 190 over 100, 110 in that range. So I need to get the blood pressures down. But that's where the name came from. So if you're ever wondering how did JB get his trail name, Mountain Man, that's how I got it. All right, guys. I see you on the trail, hopefully. And remember, just because you get hurt or injured or things are going to happen in your life. Like right now with me, this is brutal. I don't want to be in a hotel. I don't want to be with my feet up. I want to be walking. I want to be sweating. I want to be earning these miles, and I want to get on the journey. I hate waiting. I am not a patient person. And so this is the most difficult thing for me. My spirit is go, 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 and my body is no, no, no. And so your prayers and your positive thoughts and your healing vibrations are all needed, and I love you guys. And thank you so much for your support. If you're watching this on YouTube, I need you to like it. I need you to subscribe, and I sure need you to send it out on all your social medias to get other people to see on my story and understand that you can overcome anything. All right, talk to you later. Hey, Papa Bear, this is Mountain Man, JB Brown. I just wanted to let you know I made it up to Julian, and I'm staying with an amazing person. You probably know her, Papa Bear. I'm up here, and I'm being just blessed and taken care of amazingly. I can't tell you guys, this network of trail angels, how important they are. It's amazing. I'm sure you see thousands of people, so you might not remember. I'm the man who owns the largest mental health private practice in Washington that focuses on the men coming out of prison. And when I talked to you, I don't know if you remember, I mentioned I'd like to fly you up to Washington in the next year or so, when you have some time. I'd like to fly you up. I've got a yacht that's you can stay on, so you don't have to feel awkward about staying at someone's home. But I've got a yacht that's only 10 minutes from my house, and it's got a king-size bed in it, and it's a 39-foot ocean cruiser, and you're more than welcome to stay there anytime, Papa Bear. And I'd love to schedule a chance to get you, me, and the 3, 4, 5 of the guys out on a trail, and just a chance to meet you and interact with you and have you tell them your story in life and just let you touch their lives. I'd love to coordinate that. So I'm still on the trail. I'm having some tough times. Blood pressures are running 250 over 140, and my feet are in some bad shape. But like I said, I made it. It took me a week to get to Julian, but I made it. And I'm not quitting. I'm continuing to push as far and as long as I can. Thank you for all your encouragement and all your words of wisdom at Campo. They've helped me on this trail. All right, man. Take care, brother.